Okay, good evening. We are so excited to have you here with us tonight for Studio U. This is Stacy Croninger, and we have Brooke answering questions for us. We're grateful to have her back. I'm guessing that baby Henry's probably not too far away from her right now because that little man loves his mama. We got to see him today, so we're excited having her join us again. To get us started off tonight, I'm going to just dive right in, and all you early come people are going to be excited because I'm going to give away our points right off the bat. So tonight we're going to start off by giving points to Julie Bookser. Julie Bookser, you get 20 Heritage Makers Publishing points, and we'll get those into your account in the next couple of days. But again, we appreciate you joining us tonight and hope that you're excited to participate in some holiday cheer. And you probably can't hear it, but I have some Christmas music going on in the background that will just keep us a little festive. If you don't hear mine, you might want to turn on your own because we're going to talk holidays today. And as I mentioned, Brooke's on questions, and I'm here, and I'm going to walk us through some fun sharing ideas. But to get us started, we don't want you to miss out on our holiday sales that are going on now. Yes?
Stacey, I don't believe we are seeing your screen. We're just seeing the Studio U Holiday Cheer screen.
Can you see my screen now?
There it is.
There it is. Woohoo! Okay, well, good thing you told me. This showing screen thing sometimes gets so confusing. Okay, so we're going to share our holiday sales. This week we have greeting cards and address labels on sale, and those are on sale until Monday, 10% off on those. We still have coming up mugs, ornaments, and magnets, and then the week after that are canvases, wood prints, and metal prints, and the last week, which is December 7th, we'll have calendars, 11 by 14 prints, and notepads. So make sure to take advantage of these sales. They'll make for some great Christmas gifts, as you're going to see some of those ideas tonight. Okay, so let's get started with some inspiration. We're going to start off with holiday cards. Holiday cards are one of those things that are so fun to get sent out, whether you do them simple or if they're involved with your annual letter, however you decide to do them. And we have some designs that are new for you, so we hope that you enjoy these. The first one is called Pound Joyful, and it's done by Roxanne, and you'll see that it's a cute collage of images, and these are all 5x7 invitations, so they're just a front and a back. You can put things on the back, you can keep it just on the front, whatever you would like. The next one over is the Ornamental Season that Brooke did for us, and both of these are basics. That means you don't have to have a Premier account that uses basic artwork. Love how she used those cute ornaments to display the photos, and that's really easy to customize and add your own photos. And then we have Frosty Fun Christmas, and this one uses a wonderful picture, so you can take advantage of having a big, huge picture and just a few little accents, and you can easily change that Merry Christmas to a different sentiment, change the color to tie into the colors on your photo, like Brooke did with the Merry Christmas tying to that little girl's jacket, so that makes it very fun. And then we have a Very Merry Flourish, which is also done by Brooke, and it's a basic design, and it has half the card for your photo and half the card for your sentiment. Again, these are 5x7 invitations, and so front and back. Next up, we have some shaped cards. So that cute Ornamental Season 1 is also done in a bracket card, and these are really fun because they're just a different shape. They're a little bit different than what you're used to, and it's just a front and back. So if you are wanting to look for a different shape, you can try the Ornamental Season bracket card. We also have the Wreath Greeting from Susie Berg, and you'll see that with this one we're showing you the front and the back. It's scalloped edged, so it really ties in nicely with that fun wreath. And then on the back, she's got a picture of family with the sentiments all ready to go. So again, some shaped cards might be a fun way to go this time. And then we also have greeting cards, and these ones are your typical greeting cards where you open and close them. You have your inside, the back, the front. Roxanne took that Pound Joyful and made it into a 5x5, so it's a square greeting card. Again, so fun to have that collage where you can use a variety of photos. And then I did one called Let It Snow Wishes, and this one just has the one photo. It has some of the artwork out of one of our new collections. And actually, I want to show you how easy it is to customize this one. So we're going to jump over into Studio. And I do want to point out that this card, as it is now, is basic. And I'm going to show you some of the other things that you can do using other collections. So I have this card all ready to go here. And I'm just going to edit it. It is a 4x6 greeting card. And you'll see that it, oops, apparently I didn't pop out my disk properly. It gets mad when I do that. Okay, so Studio is loaded, and I have my card all set to go, and my design guides are turned on. If this is your first time using Studio, you may want to leave those on because it tells you some great tips about what you're seeing on your screen. But once you get used to things, they sometimes can feel like they're in the way. And so you can turn them off by coming up here to the right, clicking on Design Guide. It turns them off. If you decide you want them back on again, you just click on it, it turns it back on. So it's really nice that you can toggle back and forth with those. So if you click on any of these objects, you'll see that it has a red bounding box around it, or a rubber band, and that tells us that this particular item is locked, meaning I can click on it and drag it and it's not going to move. And you can tell that also here by the little lock emblem on our toolbox. Anytime I select something, I can either use the toolbox or the toolbar to make modifications, and I personally tend to use the toolbox, and I think the toolbar gets in my way. So I can either turn off the toolbar one time by clicking on the X here, and then if I click on something different, you'll see that toolbar pops up again. If I want to turn it off for the entire session, I can come up here to View, and then click on Toolbar, and that will turn it off until I come back and turn it on again. So again, under the View menu, you'll see that there's no checkbox next to Toolbar, which means it's turned off, but there is one next to Toolbox, which means that it is turned on. So I have my objects here, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to take this design and swap it out to an entirely different colors and papers and everything. So I'm going to go to Art Collection, and one of our new ones, this one called Fairy Tale Christmas. If I click on it once, it gives me this nice preview, and I do want to open this collection so I can see all the parts. So this may be a little bit more traditional in colors that people are used to. So I'm going to size my screen down just a hair so you can see everything. And I'm going to start off by swapping out this back piece. Now, to make sure that I get the paper, I want to basically swap this paper for a different paper. And so I want to make sure I've first selected my paper in Studio so I have this red box around it. And then I can come down here and pick whatever paper I would like. So let's start off with this red one with the hearts. I'm just going to drag it up, and I always feel like I'm sneaking up on it. So if I come from the side, then I get this box that says Drop Art Here to Swap. And notice when I get close to it, I get that green plus. And if I drop it, it immediately swaps out and shows me what that's going to look like. Not really the look I was hoping for, so it's still selected. I'm going to try another paper. So I'm going to come up here on the side, come over to where it says Drop Art Here to Swap, drop it in. Yeah, it's a little bit better, but I'm really attached to chevrons. And so I'm going to try this chevron paper, and I kind of like that. Okay, so by doing that, I've swapped out that paper, so I have a new design. I don't really need to move it or anything, but I now want to adjust all my accents too. So this little Let It Snow guy, I'm going to look at what kind of embellishments and accents I have. And there's some nice ones here, but I also remember that there's some word art. So you'll notice that my art collection is organized by embellishments, and then I have alphabets and paper and word art. Now, not all collections have all these items in it, so you may find that there's not an alphabet. But anything it does have, it will display for you. And so this one has some cute word art. Whoops, sorry, grabbed the wrong thing. And I'm going to scroll across and see them. Well, I really like this All Hearts Come Home for Christmas. So I'm going to drag it up, drag it to where it says Drop Art to Swap, and drop it in there. And I think that looks pretty cute there, but again, all my other things don't match now either. So I'm going to start with this ribbon here, the teal ribbon. I'm going to go back up, and I'm going to slide over just a hair here so I can get my entire scroll bar, come up here, and see what I have in the way of ribbons. And I believe not that end, it must be on this other end. There was a ribbon. There's some of these little curly ribbons here. There's this gold knot one. But I really like this guy here. So I'm going to click it, drag it up, and drop it. Now, you'll notice that it's overlapping my cute little word art here. And it won't allow me to move it because it's locked. So if I do want to move it, then I'm going to need to unlock it. So with it selected, I'm clicking on the lock button, and now notice that it's changed from red to green. And that means I can change this in a variety of ways. I can move it. I can size it. So if I come to one of these side corners and drag it, I can make it huge. I can make it smaller. So as soon as I unlock it, I now have full control of what I want to do with this particular accent. Okay, so I'm going to put it where I want it. And then because I tend to mess things up, you know, click on the wrong things or whatever, I'm going to immediately lock it again. And that allows me to make sure that I don't move it someplace I don't want it to be. But I did notice that it's kind of cutting off part of my bow here. So I've zoomed in a little bit, and you'll notice the top part of my bow is cut off. So I'm going to select this, and over here, you'll see that it says adjust. By clicking on that, it's going to show me what my whole bow looks like and what part of it's showing. So if I want to either scale it or move it, I can do that. So I'm going to scale it down. I can actually scale it huger, which I don't want to do. I actually want to make this box a little bit bigger. And I can move the bow around so it's in a different spot. When I'm done, I can click on done. If I want to adjust the actual size of it, I can unlock it and then come back to adjust. And now I can change the box so that the box contains the entire bow. If I want to see the entire thing, I can just keep sizing out. So you'll see that I'm moving the blue box around. The green box is showing me what size it currently is. So when I find what I like, click on done. And now you can see that I have my whole entire bow. So I can adjust it size-wise, I can rotate it, I can do anything I want. I'm going to rotate it just a hair so that it kind of fits better underneath here. Okay, again, I want to lock this dude back because I don't want to mess him up. Okay, so I'm just going to go through and click some of these different guys. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, this heart looks awful cute, so I'm going to drop it over here. And again, notice that the heart is kind of cut off, so if I click on adjust, it will let me scale it. Brooke, do you have a question?
Just a comment. When you swap something in and it doesn't fit the box, one very easy way to do it is simply unlock it, and then you can remove the crop, which really just makes the box snap back into place for the shape of the new item.
Okay, so let's try that since you have been so kind to tell us that. So we're going to try it with this flower. And we're going to drag a button in there. And so see how, oh, actually it is in the right spot. But you're saying if we unlock it and we remove, so the crop image here, if I remove it, it would make it the right size. That's pretty cool. So let's try that same thing with the photo. Okay, I've got this great photo up here. But I actually have a picture of my hound I want to use here. So I've selected it, so it says drop photo here. I'm going to go down to my albums. I have one that's just my dogs, and I'm going to scroll down because I have one of them in their hats. Okay, so I'm going to drag it up here. Now you'll notice that this photo is wide rather than square or tall. So when I drop it in here, it's not exactly the right size or right position. So we're going to do what Brooke just suggested. And I'm going to unlock this. I'm going to remove the crop, and now you get to see the whole photo. Now, if I do want to crop some of it, I can come back here and do the crop, and I can move it around. So wherever that blue box is where it's going to crop in on my image. I can size it out if I want. So if I want to make sure I get those chubby little paws in, I can. I'm going to move it just a little bit to the side. And when I'm done, I click on done, and now I have my picture all ready to go. Now, I'm going to move this photo just a little bit. Okay, so that easily you can adjust it. Now, the photo I had before was very colorful, and so that's why I changed it to black and white, because it really stood out against the designs that I had. But if I want to take off that black and white, I make sure my photo is selected, I come here to effects, and you'll see on filter I have turned on black and white. If I set that to none, it takes me back to my colors, and for these guys that doesn't look too bad. The other thing I did was on the other card, it was very hard to see the photo because it kind of blended into the background, so I put a border on here. And that's what this guy is. I can adjust the border size. I can have no border. I can change the color. So if I want to keep this border, which I'm going to keep at 5, and maybe I want to change the color here. So I'm going to click on this green box, the down arrow next to the green box. It's going to give me a color picker. So I can come over here and I can say, well, let's see what it looks like if I pick a red one. Now, I don't know about you, but I have to pick something, look at it, and go, yeah, that wasn't really what I was thinking. So I'm going to come back and again click on that down arrow, and I'm going to try maybe a kind of a goldish color. Click off of it. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So you can play with those as much as you want. Some other things you can do that are kind of fun is you can add a drop shadow to it. You'll see that that kind of lifts it off. This is a really dark drop shadow. I kind of like to change mine to one of the grays, and I'll even go to a lighter gray. You can also adjust the intensity, so if you don't want it to be quite as harsh of a line, so as I go up on intensity, you'll see it gets to be kind of a darker line, whereas if I go with less intensity, you'll notice that that shadow softens and gets wider. So you can play with your intensity. You can play with the angle. So if I want it to be on the sides, if I want it to be the top, whatever angle I want that to be, I can switch it around. And I can also do the distance. So there it's going a long ways away, which makes it easier to show the angle. So see, as I move it around the image, that's the angle. So that's basically saying where's the light coming from. With the shadow on the left-hand side, that means the light's coming from the right-hand side. So you can adjust that wherever you would like it to be. Okay, and I'm going to come back over to about there, and I don't want the distance quite that big, so I'm going to slide it back in again, and I like my intensity just a little bit there. Okay, so again, I can play with this as much as I want. When I'm done with it, lock it, and that way it doesn't move. So see, I can come here and move it around. Nothing happens there. So that easily, I was able to swap things out, and I could keep going through and swapping out all these other pieces. Now, if I click on the back of my card, I want to make that reflect the same thing. So you'll notice that over here on the right-hand side, it says BC and FC. So I have front of card, and I have back of card. And whatever you do on the back of the card is actually going to print. Apparently it's going to take me just a minute for this to come up. I do want to point out that on our greeting cards, those are the ones that are folded, we do have this band on the back that is always on there. It is not an option to take off. On our invites and postcards, things like that, it doesn't include that. It just has a little barcode, which you can have taken off. I'm not sure why it's taking so long to load this page. Let's see if I go into the inside what we get. And apparently nothing's going to cooperate tonight. So I'm going to go back to my art collection while that's loading so that it's ready to go when it comes up. Brooke, do we have any questions that have come up, or are we doing okay on what people are
We're doing
watching?
good on questions, but I have one comment.
Yes?
The adorable photo of Hazel and Gracie
Yes.
is in the red. So it is not necessarily, it's not one that you would want to print.
Oh, yeah.
It would probably be quite blurry.
You're right, because it's just a little itty bitty one of, you're right. Thank you for pointing that out. And I wasn't even paying attention at all. It is a small photo, so you're right. It does not make sense to use this one, because you'll see as I size it, I get this red box around it. As I go down, it goes to yellow, and then it goes down to green. And green means it's okay to print. Now, that may look kind of funny, that size. So we're not going to leave Hazel and Gracie on that photo, and we're going to swap it out to something that is back to our green color. So let's go back to my photos. I do have some other photos. We're not going to include the hounds, though. We'll go back to some photos of families and people, and looks like Studio's just feeling a little slow tonight. So let's see. I'm going to turn off my Wi-Fi and see if that helps if I'm just running off the network. So thinking about loading my album, you'll see that the back of my card now does show what that background is. It doesn't match, so I would want to swap that out. but I'm not going to do that right now while I'm waiting for my photo to load. And wow, talk about slow tonight. So exciting. Okay, well, we'll look at the inside of the card while we wait for those photos. So you'll see that we have a sentiment, we have some designs, and again, if I want to swap these out to some other paper, I can easily do that. And I did want to keep a little bit simpler, so I'm going to go with this tan, and I can swap out these pieces, or I could actually delete them. I can do whatever I would like. I'm going to actually swap out these at the top, and this little guy looked awful cute, so I'm going to swap him in. And notice that it is not sized properly, so I can adjust it down. I'm going to just scale it. I could remove the crop altogether, but in this case, scaling it works really well. So I'm going to do that, and then click on Done when I'm done. So you can see, as I move through my card, it gives me lots of options for things that I can do, and it's still trying to load my album. So we're going to call this good, and I'm going to show you some other things. So I'm going to save and quit. It is going to ask me if I want to, if I'm sure I want to quit. Yep, I am sure I want to quit. I'm going to close that down. We're going to go back over to our slideshow, start this guy back up again, and actually before we do that, I want to pick someone else to win some points tonight. So I'm scrolling through our list, and we're going to give away points to Barbara Reese. Barbara Reese, we're going to put 20 points into your account just for showing up for class tonight, and we appreciate you being here. So the next section is talking about gift ideas, and Heidi RV was kind enough to help with a lot of samples tonight. Unfortunately, she had something else going on, so she couldn't join us, but we do have these beautiful samples to show off. So these first ones are gift ideas using labels, and these are all large address labels. And for a while, we've been showing you some cute ways to wrap chocolate Hershey nuggets, and I've always gotten the question, do we have anything to use on the Youngevity Healthy Chocolate? And Heidi has done it. So she's taken these large address labels and she's created a design that goes on the front, which is this part, and then she has this little piece that goes on the back. So basically you're taking a very large address label, and when it gets printed, you're going to cut it along this line here to give your front, and then you're going to cut this piece here to give you the back. So you'll notice right here we have this little guy here, and this is actually the back. And the reason why you need this is because the label doesn't quite meet, doesn't go all the way around it. So that will just kind of give you a little bit of cover on the back. But these three cute designs are available. So if you're looking for something cute with the Let It Snow, if you're looking for something more elegant like the Wishing You Joy this season, lots of options here. And there's actually a fourth one that I forgot to get added, which is this Wonderful World one that has the stripes. So look for those as a great way to give out some triple truffle chocolates this year and have them look very festive. Next up, there's been quite a few recipes showing up on the team Facebook pages I've seen, and Heidi created some labels that can go on top. Now these are those small little jars, and she has used, again, large address labels, and when you get them, you would need to either cut them or find a huge circle punch, and once you cut them out, then they fit just inside these jar lids so that you can put inside of them whatever it is that you've made, whether it's the body butter, the warm vanilla facial scrub, a sinus bath, or the peppermint scrub. Now Heidi, feeling ambitious, today made 2 batches of this peppermint scrub, and that makes 12 jars. So one batch of peppermint scrub makes 6 jars. She decided to go ahead and do 2 batches. So if you're looking for a quick and easy gift idea that you can make a lot of, these will give you some fun ideas. And I believe you can find these recipes on a couple of the different Facebook groups, like Kristen Goodman's. I think Hallie Red has them on her page. So I'm sure if you ask, we can hunt those down for you. Next up, these are regular address labels, and these are those fun Hershey nuggets, and Heidi did 3 different designs so that you can put them together in one package. And this particular one says, "He is the gift." You can change up the words so it says, "Merry, Merry Christmas," whatever you want to say. Wrap it around 3 different nuggets, put it in a cute little baggie, and tie it up, and it's a fun message. There are other designs out there for different holidays that we'll have for like Thanksgiving and Halloween, but if you're looking for Christmas ideas, this is a great one. And then Susie Berg did this cute address label, and of course you can have it come from Mrs. Claus, or you can swap it out to your address, but use this fun little ornament design. So you can use these labels with your greeting cards that you're sending out, and again, those are on sale this week, so great time to take advantage of those address label sales. Canvas gifts. Canvases are always a great gift idea, and I love this one from Heidi Jackson showing her relatives, and it's a great gift that you can give to people in your family just to remember those ancestors that you have. So she's taken an image, put it on the 8x8 canvas, and made them available. Now this is, you'll notice it's an older template, but it still works beautifully, and you can easily swap out any image on there. So it doesn't have to be your ancestors, but that's a great way to keep track of them. It's a fun gift for aunts and uncles and grandparents. We also have metal prints, and these ideas are interactive because they are dry erase boards. And again, Heidi Jackson created these. One of them is a little more elegant, and basically you take your dry erase marker and you write in the circle how many days are left until Christmas. And then on the right-hand side, we have a more playful one. There are actually 2 other designs. One has a gingerbread man and one has a nativity scene. So if you're looking for a great way to count down with your family, this would be a fun gift to give people that they can use through the season rather than unwrapping at Christmas time. Another thing that Heidi Arvey does is she does a storybook every year. You'll see that she has quite a stack there because her family does family photos, and so she takes all the photos from that shoot and she puts them into a book, and then she shares them with her parents and her in-laws, and they have a wonderful memory that they can look through and see all the fun pictures from Heidi's family. So on the left-hand side is her newest one. On the right-hand side, this is the original one that she started with. You'll see the template is 1996. That's how long she's been doing this, since 2008. So this template's been there for a while, but she says she just updates it every year, and it's worked out perfectly. So think about storybooks as a fun way to remember the year and give a gift to people like grandparents that maybe aren't close by, that would love to be able to see the family throughout the year. Now, scrap pages and prints. This shows how clever you can be with scrap pages. They don't have to be something that you just put into your album. They can actually be used for other things. So this is a scrap page that Heidi created several years ago with the family tree. So here's the image, and then she took it a step further, and she actually put the scrap page on a piece of metal, and she said she got it at the dollar store, and I'm not sure how recently that was, but you can find metal at hardware stores and things. And then she printed out family pictures, and she put them on little tiles and put magnets on the back, or with our new 12x18 car magnets, you could print these on that car magnet and trim them and put them on. We have tested the Our Memories for Life trimmer on the car magnet, and it cuts it beautifully, and in fact we've used a few of the punches, and you can use punches on these car magnets, so they're not super thick, and so it makes it really nice to be able to cut those up. And then you put them here on your family tree. It makes it fun so you can update the photos as time goes on if you want, so it just makes it a great way for your kids to interact with their family tree. So a fun way to use your scrap pages and prints or magnets. Another thing that Heidi has done with her scrap pages is that she has set this up with images inside of frames that she then prints out, and she hangs them on her Christmas tree. So she has a whole tree decorated with photos of her family that she puts a little bit of wire and raffia ribbon on, ties it on, puts it on the tree. And again, she can swap it out every year if she wants to have some new ones. easy enough to do that. So think about your 12 by 12 pages and how you can make use of them for other things besides your scrapbook layouts, and this is a great idea. Also, this one is one that Heidi has had for a couple of years, and you'll see there's a photo right here. This is 2 different scrap pages that spell out ho, 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 Noel, and you have this cute little Santa that says ho, ho, ho spoken here. And all you do is print these, cut them up, and put them on wood blocks. You can Mod Podge over the top of them, or you can just use your glue and adhere them to your wood, and it makes a really fun display for decorating your home. A great gift that, again, someone can enjoy this year, or you give it to them and then they have it all ready to go for next year. Now, prints are a fun thing to have out, and the great thing about these is that you can use them just at this time of year, or you could actually make a gift that has 6 of them or 12 of them and give people a frame so they can easily swap it out. So you'll see that we have this Subway Art one created by Brooke. Sorry, Brooke, I covered up your name just a little bit there. Subway Art is a great thing to do, and this one is 11 by 14. You'll notice it's customized with the family's name. Or if you're into the Keep Calms, which I think these are adorable, you can do these cute Keep Calm and pick the one you want or do a variety of them. I personally like baked cookies and sip hot cocoa. There are so many different Subway Art and 11 by 14 prints that you could use to create a fun gift. And I want to show you how easy it would be to modify these in the gallery and studio. So we're going to hop over for a minute and we're going to go over here. And I have Christmas Subway all set up. I'm going to go ahead and edit that. And the great thing about this is you can personalize it, so it can have your family name, it can have different colors, you can change out the words, because all this is words in different fonts. Now again, first time I come in, these design guides are turned on. I'm just going to turn those off. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. As I click on things, you'll see that it's locked. But even when it's locked, I can make a few changes of things. For example, if I want to change the color of Christmas to something else, maybe my Christmas decorations are more pinks and bright greens and things, then I can easily do that. The other thing I want to do is change the name down here because my family's not Richardson. And to do that, I do need to unlock, oops, actually I don't. I can just click in here, and if I want to change it to Wilson, which is not my last name, but it's easier to type than Croninger is. I can type that in there. When I'm done, click off to the side, and now I've easily changed that. And it allowed me to change the text, but it didn't move at all. Because how many times have you selected something and it's moved and you thought, darn it, now everything's out of place. Now, if I want to change some of these colors, I'm actually going to go down to Art Collections, and I'm going to search for Christmas, and I'm going to slide this down just a hair so that box is not in the way, and see if I can find some collections that have other colors in them, like pinks and greens. Here comes the speedy search. Normally it doesn't take this long. My apologies. It is something with our network. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I can come up here and click on the down arrow, and it gives me this color palette that I can choose between. But usually the colors I'm finding here are not the ones that I really, really want. And so if I pull up an art collection and have some papers up, then I can pick the color I want off of that color palette. And I'm just going to randomly pick a color here just so that, wow, that's really bright. We're going to go with this red. While it searches. Yes, Miss Brooke?
One fun trick while we're waiting for that to load.
Yes.
When I'm making word arts, what I like to do sometimes is find a color palette online that has colors that I like, and then I just upload it as a photo and color pick from that.
Oh, that's a brilliant idea. I love that. So are you looking at photos of like people or just any kind of artwork that has the colors you like?
So you can go to Pinterest or wherever. There are websites that you can go and get color palettes, but I just cheat and go on Pinterest and just search color palette or Christmas color palette or something like that, and just find one with colors that I like and go from there.
Cool. Okay, so the point
sorry,
say that again.
It'll just have a picture and then a series of colors from that picture.
And what she's doing is she's saving that image from wherever she found it, Pinterest or website or whatever, and then loading it through her My Photos so that it's an option there. So it's not coming in as artwork, it would come in as photos. So I could select My Photos and come into one of my albums, and I know that my dog's one loads fast enough. And if there was a color in here that I really liked, which we're going to wing it here. Let's say that I want this Christmas to be green, and I can see in the back of Jethro there's some green grass here, so I can click on that image and it will pick that up. So any image that you have will allow you to pick that color. Also, I told you that this bar makes me crazy, mostly because it's here in the middle of my screen. So I'm going to turn that bar back off, and it does it for the session. So once I get out of Studio, it is going to reset, and when I come back in, it'll be there again. But let's go over to my art collections, and you'll see that I have quite a variety here. And if I scroll across, there was one that had some pink and greens in it. Now I just have to remember which one it was. And I think it was the Jolly Holiday. So I'm going to open this collection, and it's going to give me the papers and backgrounds and things. You'll see this has quite a selection of colors. It has some pink, so if I want to change this to a pink color, again, I'm going to click on the down arrow there, come over here, and I can choose a variety of different colors. And as I move around, you'll see that it shows me what color it's going to pick. So I have lots of options there. So I kind of like that one. Okay, now if I for some reason want to change the font on one of these, maybe Silent Night, I want to have a different font, but keep in mind that fonts are sized, so if I change this font, it may come up that it doesn't reach out anymore. But maybe I like Bohemian Typewriter. So if I click on Bohemian Typewriter, you'll see it's now changed Silent Night to that font. This one happens to work really nicely. So you can, without unlocking it, you can change the text, you can change the font, you can change the colors, and so you can customize this to be whatever design you want it to be. So it makes it really nice to be able to just play and have a good time with your designs, and when you're done, all you're going to do is do save and quit, and it's that easy to get that done. Now, I want to show you one other thing. I'm going to come back into my Merry Christmas to You card. I'm going to edit it, and when I'm all done with the card, let's assume that this card is exactly the way I want it to be, and I'm ready to add it to my cart. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to click on Ready to Publish, okay? But before I do that, I want to make sure that I don't have any extra stuff around here. Sometimes when I'm designing, I will pull some things up, and let's see if I go back to my art collection that I had here. I will pull things up because I think, oh, maybe I want to try this guy. And now I'm just going to put them off to the side as I'm searching for things. Well, when I publish, I want to make sure that I kind of have this cleaned up. I don't need these extra things hanging out there. They don't do me any good, and they can take up extra space in your projects and cause issues. So when it's selected, if I click on the delete key, it will get rid of that. I also, up here on the right-hand side, have a trash can that will also delete it. Oops, nope, that shows me what I have in my trash can. Silly me. So I'm going to delete that. When I'm all done, I'm going to click on Ready to Publish, and it's going to come up and verify that I have everything the places that I want it to be, and I'm happy with my edits. So I'm going to say OK. And it comes out, and it also says I've reviewed all my pages here. Yep, I have. I'm ready to publish. When I'm ready to actually purchase it, I have to make sure I'm looking at my view completed. So before we were looking at view in progress, now I'm looking at view completed. And if I want to purchase this, I'm going to click on Add to Cart. Now we have other options here. We have Submit as a Template. So if you think this design that you've created is something that other people would enjoy, then you can submit as a template. We review it, and as long as it's clean and it looks like something that we think most people would be interested in, then we might publish it as a template. You can also do view, so it will bring up and let you see what your project looks like. I can see the front and the back, all these different things, and be assured I'm really not going to print this. I can also share it. So if I have a friend who says, oh, I love that card, I just want to tweak some things, I can either type in their account number or I can put in their email here, click on verify, and it's going to come up and tell me that person's name so I can share projects with people. I'm going to go back to my completed ones. If I want to do this again, but I want to change something up, maybe I'm doing one to my aunt, and so I want to personalize it and say, Dear Aunt Kathy inside of it, then I can copy this, and it will ask me to put in a new name. So I'm going to call this Kathy's Merry Christmas to you. If I can type, I make a copy, and so basically what this done is taken that, and now in my view in progress, I have a copy of that card that I can go in and edit without affecting my original card. And then I also have the option to delete. So if you make something and you're like, it's been in there forever ago, I already added to my cart, then I can delete it. Okay, now I have two options for add to cart. I have add to cart. I also have direct ship this. Direct ship this means that I want the place that prints this to pick an address for me and go ahead and send that directly to that person. And I can use addresses that I have in an address book. I can actually add in new addresses if I would like. I can select multiple people if it's going to a variety of people. Okay, so direct to ship is nice. That means that I'm going to send it off to the printer and they're going to put the postage on it and send it directly for me, which is really handy at this time of year. If I do add to cart, then of course it's going to put it into my cart and give me my options of things that I want to do. And again, you notice that we do have that discount applied right now. I can tell it the quantity that I want. If there's additional options I want to apply, like the pearl paper, I can do that. So if I do want the pearl paper, it's going to add some cost to it, add it to cart, and I now can go look at my cart and see that it is added there and I'm ready to go. So that just gives you some ideas of things that you can do while you're setting up all your projects for this year. Okay, we're going to go back to our PowerPoint and swap out my display. Yes, ma'am?
We have a request of something you can show in Studio.
I would love to do that.
Can you open a project and show where in the My Projects tab they can see the elements listed on a page of any given project or template?
Say that again. Okay, so I'm coming in here. And they want to see what?
We'll go into the My Projects tab.
Yep.
And inside here, if you click on either on Current Project, or you can go into any of your completed or not completed projects or any templates that you've added to your account, and you can see on any given page, like showing here for the front cover of this card, you can see the elements that are listed for each page.
Right. That is a great thing to show, and you don't want to see it on my, oh, well, this one's not too bad of a one. So then I can show you that here's all the papers that were used for this particular template.
Yeah. And the first
and that is so... Say it again. Sorry.
Sorry, I figured to throw this out. The first elements listed are at the back in the layering, and the ones at the bottom of the list are. So the background papers will generally show first.
That is good to know. So whatever how they're layered from bottom to top is how they're shown in there. That's pretty cool. The great thing about this is sometimes you forget what collection it's in, so if I want to know where this paper come from, I can click on it and it will tell me a Fairy Tale Christmas Loving collection, and I can actually open that collection if I want to use it. Okay, so again, that was going to My Projects. I can either do Current Project and see what's been used. I can do my Unfinished Projects, my Completed Projects, or my Templates. And that gives you a lot of different options for seeing things. Great idea. Any other questions? Anything else I can show?
I don't. Oh, hang on. Let me read this one. Just came in. Okay, here I'm going to just read this. I have a question about the wood blocks. If you have a background paper on it, will the wood still show through, or will it just be the color of the paper? And
Okay, so you're talking about the...
Is she asking about the wood prints, do you think?
I believe she's asking about the wood blocks that were the idea that Heidi showed us. So I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint and move backwards. Let me go back. Are you talking about...
No, she's asking about the new wood prints.
Okay, the new wood prints. If you put a background paper on there, if it's very busy, it will not show the wood grain very well. And that's the case with even photos we're finding. So if you want to see the wood grain show through, you either want to use a paper that has very little design to it or not use a paper at all. Some of the projects that we've found look really the best have a combination of a photo on half of it, and then the other half of it or another part of it is just showing the wood grain. So that's a great question. We've had that come up several times about those new wood prints that you can order. Okay. Coming soon to Studio, I want to show you two of the artworks that we have coming up. This is winter art, and it's Baby, It's Cold Outside. It's going to be a basic collection. You'll see it has some adorable snowmen, lots of fun papers and embellishments. It will work beautifully for the holidays, but it will also be fun to use for any of your winter activities that you have coming up in the next few months. So in December, watch for Baby, It's Cold Outside. We also are adding one called Midnight Kiss. Now I'm calling this celebration art because yes, it's designed for New Year's, but if you look at these designs, these papers and the backgrounds, and they actually are generic enough you can use them for any kind of fun celebration. So it doesn't have to be just New Year. Think out of the box. It might be fun for a 50 or 60 birthday party. In fact, it says party right there. You could use it for graduations, anything where you need just a touch of maybe some elegance using black and gold. This Midnight Kiss collection is going to be a fun one for you. Okay. Oh, and I didn't change the date here. Wow, that was really bad. I believe our next one is actually in just a couple of weeks, December 10th. And we're going to, and I have no clue what we're going to be talking about. Let me hop out and tell you, though. I can easily tell you that. So hang on just 1 minute. Our next one is going to be December 10th, Bound by Love. And we're going to be showing you all sorts of things about your family yearbooks. So if you want to see some fun ideas for kind of showcasing your family yearbook, this is going to be a great one to come to. So December 10th, make sure you come to that. Also, we're going to give away some final points to one more person that has stuck it out for this evening in all of our fun. We're going to give those to Tammy Worthington. Tammy Worthington, we're going to give you 20 points. Any final questions before we wrap this up for the evening? Not hearing anything from Brooke.
I'm just hearing and answering one, so I think we are good.
Okay, we appreciate you joining us tonight. Hopefully you have some fun ideas of things that you can do for the holidays, for gifts that you can give to neighbors and friends, as well as to family members that they can use either during the holiday season or after the holidays, or to remember you all year long. We appreciate you joining us. Have a wonderful evening. We will see you on December 10th for Bound in Love. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much. Bye.